Back in the days before the internet was popular, before the web had even been invented, many people used BBSs for communication, entertainment, and other things. A BBS is a system that users contact by dialing into it with a modem. I'm talking about a voice modem, the kind that hooks up to a voice telephone line. While it's in use, you can't make or take any voice calls. This is the same kind of modem that's now generally used only for dial-up internet access. Anyway, one would use communication software that emulated ancient devices called terminals, generally with 80 by 25 or 80 by 24 text with 16 colors, plus file transfer capability and sometimes other features. Originally, most BBSs could take one call at a time, or maybe two or four, due to the lack of multitasking in MS-DOS, the limited number of expansion slots in PCs, the lack of multiplexing on direct modem-to-modem links, and of course the expense of having multiple phone lines. But in the late 80s, a different kind of BBS was introduced by a company called Galacticom. Together with a special expansion board, a special software library, and, later on, internet capability, the major BBS could support as many as 256 users simultaneously, with one node reserved for local logins. Numerous highly interactive modules such as a feature-rich teleconference, multiplayer games, and even some internet services set major BBS apart. What I especially remember are the games, and one of these games should be of particular interest to fans of adventure games due to its close relation to a well-known graphical adventure game. Its name is Kyrandia. Hello everyone! Welcome to Let's Play the other Kyrandia. I know it's been a while since I said I was going to do this. It was a combination of procrastination and wanting to be well prepared. And I think I do need to be well prepared for this because the game world is rather large, at least for an adventure game, not so much for an RPG. And because of the confusing structure of the world, it's easy to get lost sometimes. So, anyway, let's get this started. I'm simulating a 1200 baud modem with this because that's what I had back in the day, and I just want to do it for nostalgic reasons. Shouldn't be a problem because it still goes faster than I'm able to read the text. So, all right, let's start this. First we have to pick a name to be used in the game itself. I'll just use my real name here. Welcome, brave and adventurous one, to the wondrous and magical game of Kyrandia, fantasy world of legends. You are about to journey to a fantasy land far, far away, a land of swords and sorcery where the only limit is your own imagination. Well, not that many swords. Mostly sorcery. You will travel to the world of Kyrandia, a fairy tale land of magic and mystery, realm of the beautiful and powerful goddess of Kyrandia, Tashana, the Lady of Legends. Here you begin as a young apprentice from a small village who seeks to grow in knowledge, wisdom, and power, with high hopes of being granted the title of Archmage of Legends, the mightiest wizard of Kyrandia. To achieve your goal, you must cross the lands of Kyrandia, face unknown perils, solve mystical enigmas, battle rivalrous mages, and conquer your own mind, body, and soul. Time has stood still for too long on Kyrandia. Now is the time for one mage to rise above and master the powers of sorcery and magic. And then here's a brief explanation of how to play the game. Which I don't need to read. But down at the bottom it says it's similar in concept to Dungeons and Dragons, although it's nowhere near as detailed. Yeah. And then here it's explaining how the magic system works. It's the kind of system where you have to memorize a spell each time you want to cast it. Blah, blah, blah. You may ask what great treasure lies in this adventure. You will run across many exciting characters. No, you won't. Only a few, really. And travel through breathtaking scenery. Well, I won't disagree with that. Beyond that, explore this great world to find what is hidden for you. The first player to reach the end will be granted the title of Archmage of Legends. Kyrandia is based upon a complete fantasy world created by Scott Brinker. It was programmed by Scott Brinker and Richard Skurnick in March to June of 1988, and is based on multiplayer interactive game concepts originated by Tim Stryker, who created another game called Fazul, which, I don't know, maybe I'll say something about that at some point, but anyway. Also, thanks are due to those who gave the support and inspiration to make this fantasy a reality. Kyrandia is dedicated to the lonely souls of the world. Type help fantasy in the game for more. Enjoy the magic, mystery, and mirth of Kyrandia Fantasy World of Legends. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to try to point out everywhere that elements were taken into the Legend of Kyrandia, because there are many of them, as you'll see very quickly. In fact, here's the first one right here. You're near a mystical willow tree. Before you rises the mysterious, eerie silhouette of a willow tree, the most strange and fascinating of all of the natural magic of Kyrandia. Although willows are normally associated with death and sorrow, this particular tree is unusual, as it radiates an extremely powerful aura of good, a miracle of the hailed goddess Tashana. A small dirt path winds off to the north, and dark forest surrounds you in all other directions. Okay, so first thing, let's get to level 2. We're at level 1 right now. It's really easy. All you have to do is kneel. As you kneel, a vision of the goddess Tashana materializes before you. She lays her hand gently upon your shoulder and says to you, "Rise, rise, magic user. Your first advancement has begun." She then vanishes and you feel yourself grow in power. You are now at level 2. A spell has been added to your spell book. Well, let's take a look. The spell book is made from fine papyrus paper and bound in a leather book cover with iron bindings. As you look inside, you see Spell Book of Lord Daniel. Smoky. Spellbook radiates an aura of powerful magic. Smoky is a fire spell, which I won't be using. Anyway, so the next thing, we go north. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I will be using a walkthrough, because it's pretty much impossible to finish this without a walkthrough, because the things you have to do are pretty much, there's just no way you would figure all of it out. So anyway, you're on a north-south path surrounded by tall, ominous pine trees. You're located on a narrow dirt path which twists off to the north and south. Dark forest leads off to the east and west sides of this little road, which extends beyond your vision into dark undergrowth. Somewhere nearby, you hear the chirping of a songbird singing a faintly familiar romantic melody. The unmistakable aroma of blooming roses also hangs in the air, although you cannot see its origin. There is a garnet lying on the path. And we'll see many, many, many garnets. The gems in this game are almost the same ones as in the Legend of Kyrandia, but there's a big difference, and that is that you can trade in the gems for gold, and the amount that you get is related to their rarity, and some of them are quite rare. You you might end up looking and looking and looking before you ever find one, which will be a problem very soon, as you'll see. Anyway, I'm going to pick this up because I'll need gold to well, you'll see. Okay, go north. You're at a T intersection on a path. In a small clearing of the dark forest here, a narrow north-south path intersects with a smooth road that leads off to the east. Although it seems the road may have at one time extended further to the west, it has long since been overgrown by dark forest. The sunlight seems particularly bright here, especially in contrast to the dark forest which surrounds you. For some unknown reason, as you look around, memories run through your mind of long-lost love. Not sure why, but there's a lot of that in this game. We'll just accept it. You're on an east-west road, cleared through the thick forest apparently ages ago. This smooth dirt road shows signs of frequent and recent use. To the east, the road leads to a village in the distance, as well as winding off through the dark forest to the west. Tall, majestic oak trees line the road to the north and south, guarding the border of the extensive dark forest. As you glance around, you notice the word Zenira, or however that's pronounced, written in the middle of the road. There is a garnet lying on the road. Well, what a surprise. I have no idea what the significance of that word is. Maybe one of you can figure it out, or provide, I don't know. Anyway, off to the east, you're on the outskirts of a village. Before you lies a high wall of large oak logs carved to deadly pointed pinnacles at the top. A thin column of smoke rises from beyond the wall, along with the odor of cooking food and other strange smells. This is apparently one of the few dwellings of human inhabitants within the great forest of Kyrandia. An entrance into the villages is to the east. A path winds off to the west, and dark forest lies in all other directions. So let's go in. You're in the village square. Located directly within the village gates, this well-kept plaza has been landscaped with tall, beautiful oak trees, lush green hedges, and splendid assortments of flowers. Various paths, all in good condition, lead off in all directions. To the north is a small hut with smoke rising from it. To the south lies an intriguing little shop. To the east is a village temple, and a path leading out into the forest is to the west. So let's go to the shop first. You're at a spell shop, well built from attractive redwood, truly a rare wood in these parts. This mystical hutch is labeled by a charming purple sign. Standing before you is a strangely dressed man who smiles and nods at you kindly. A tingle runs down the back of your neck, and you suddenly feel the urge to spend large amounts of gold. A small path winds off to the north to the village square. Your eyes seem to drift towards the sign. So let's take a look. Yeah, look, sign. Sign reads as follows. And so there's a few of the spells that exist in this game, but there are many more. Let's see, which ones do I know? Burn up. There's another fire spell. Klutzofo. I think that makes the target drop his or her items. FP and L, I have no idea. How are you? That tells you another player's health. No ouch, that's some sort of protection spell. Sunglass, that protects against fire, I believe. Tilt-a-weight, or I have no idea. Where am I? That tells you the room number that you're in. The rooms all have internal numbers, and you can use the where am I to tell where you are. And there's also a go-to spell with which you can teleport to a given room. Can't see me, huh? That's invisibility. So you see me? No idea. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Further down, wee willow. That turns you into a will-o-wisp. Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Let's go to the gem cutter. You're at the gem cutter's hut. This quaint little hut has been built from assorted branches of the forest bound together by dried vines, and all twisted and weaved together into a miraculously stable bungalow. A column of smoke rises smoothly from a miniature chimney, and strange spicy odors float from within its walls. Sitting outside, directly in front of you, is a haggard old man. A path winding off to the south leads to the village square. Okay, so let's sell our garnets. And you get 2 pieces of gold for garnets. Of course, that's not enough to buy anything. But we'll get enough soon enough. Now we go east to the temple. Columns constructed from flawless marble and arranged in a closely knit circular pattern establish this place as the center of the village's religious rites. Several small elm trees border the circumference of this temple, and the interior is laden with numerous lavender rose bushes in brilliant full bloom. In the center of this holy outdoors dagoba rests a sunken marble altar. What the heck is a dagoba? I looked that up and I couldn't find anything for that word. It's a mistake of some kind, I think. A small shanty lies to the south, and paths lead off to the north and west. So here we see immediately 2 more elements. There's a temple in both games, only this one is outdoors, and there are lavender rose bushes. And here we have the way to get to level 3, which is by doing this. Chant, Glory be to Tashana. As you praise the goddess Tashana, you feel yourself grow in power. You're now at level 3. I think I'll stop here for now because in order to get to level 4, it's really an extreme pain because well, you remember the birthstone puzzle in The Legend of Kyrandia? Assuming you've seen that game. Well, it's pretty much the same here, except you have the problem of the rarity of gems. So you better hope that you don't have a diamond or a moonstone as one of your birthstones. Otherwise, it'll take a really long time. So anyway, see you next time. Goodbye.